Do a talk about gallery light. Now, uh, since I was doing painting, and if you take a look at the Saxburg Carnival that's in the first room of the house, I've always been looking at light. So, I went through that period and come over into the case. And remember, I worked in the period of porcelain. So here's this miniature of this piece, which is a reproduction of this in the 1/12th scale period. And then I went into landscape paintings, so into the landscape concept with these pieces. So I was getting into backgrounds. Well, a big jump for me came from these landscape pieces into these storytime pieces. And my early storytime pieces, and I remember that was a porcelain style. And a porcelain style to me is a figure standing like this on a base, no background. And if you look at the early storytime pieces, maybe the first 2 years, most of them were very simple and they were done in the porcelain style. So this would be the porcelain style approach. And then when I started to explore the art form of the stories and films more, I just love this little Winnie the Pooh piece out of the storytime piece. It's got the background in. This was a big step because we were adding cost, but I felt that we were expanding the storytelling feeling of the film. So here comes our studio cat, Dio. And her name is Dio, short for studio. And what was happening in here is that if you take a look at this case has a neon light that goes a whole way across. So if you take a look at most collectible cases, there's 2 bulbs in the top of most cases, maybe 4 at the most. And so you would have to put your favorite piece underneath that bulb so the light would shine down on it, so that you could see it all. And I've been doing that for years. So here I was. My solution in this case was to put a neon light that went the whole way across so that I could get full lighting across all the pieces. Well, I'm like a collector. I'm like you people out there. I live with all this stuff. This is why it's great to visit my home studio and see this. So it's not like I'm some corporation that makes this stuff and says, okay, that's it. This is what we're making this year. I care about where this stuff ends up in my house. So unfortunately, I'm making this for me. I'm not making this for you. I'm making this for good old Bob. And I don't mean that in a selfish or a big ego way, but I care about what the work looks like. So I'll show you this transition. This is a wonderful, remember I said earlier, this was a major transition piece. This was done in the year 2001. So here I am. My commission in this was to do like a porcelain style piece like this piece. They wanted make it the ship's wheel like I did in the Enchanted Places miniatures. And I thought, well, it's for the convention. I'm going to really do something special. So I wanted to get color into these black and white film characters, and I thought, how would they let me do that? There's no color in these black and white films. So I decided to put them in a movie theater. But what happened is, I love this because, here, this image of the film comes out. We took the Steamboat Willie film, black and white, and it goes in here. And I sat in my studio and I thought, wow, this is like a movie theater. So I started to take pictures out of magazines and put them in here. I had pictures of mountains, and I thought, this is a flat plane in the back. I can get any depth in there by just putting the picture in that flat plane. So I'm like, wow. So this is why collectors go back and look for my early work, because all these pieces connect. So, well, where did that lead to? If you look at the dates when these were produced, I said, wow, how can I make you look back into the garden? So this followed this. And I thought, okay, like the Peter Pan that's in the other room, I thought, I could make you look back into the piece. You can see that in this piece as well. But, could I could I make you look down? That's great. So by forcing the perspective in this piece, I could make you look down as though Dumbo was dumping into the fireman's, I forget what this is called,